All right, everyone, here we go. It's kind of the sister reading to the 1010 portal since they're happening sort of right on top of each other, peaking, the 1010's peaking at the time that Pluto here is going direct in Capricorn. So what does this mean? Pluto going direct has a lot to do with fixing mistakes. The mistakes come in, they're shown while it's retrograde, right? And that's what was happening during this Pluto retrograde. Things from the past returning for review, if you will. And now, as it goes direct, it's a chance to fix things. Pluto going direct is always a stepping off point. Look at my pre-shuffle. Has a fool right there. It's unreal. The pre-shuffle is a fool and a chariot crossing it. You know, it's stepping into the new. It's new adventures. It's a leap of faith, leaps of faith. You can take them when Pluto goes direct. But as we'll talk about the pre-shuffle with the incoming energy, they haven't fixed a lot of those mistakes. They haven't looked at them. You don't need to necessarily fix them while Pluto's retrograde, but you do have to review them. Take a look. Go back over the paperwork, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. Let's see where we go here. It should be very interesting, to say the least, based on this pre-shuffle, which starts exactly as it should. Pluto direct in Capricorn is forward movement. You can fix a lot of things. You can end a lot of bad habits. You can move forward with things. It's just the way it is. But you have to have done the review while it was retrograde. And I'm not sure the incoming energy did. We'll find out. It's a general reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is. This is straight up energy reading. All right. If you're here for a reason, and this reading is timeless. Because whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. You're all moving at different speeds on your timeline. So this could be future influence. I'm pulling on the incoming energy. I asked the universe, I said, give me the soulmate cycle with the influence of Pluto going direct in Capricorn. I get a fool. I already showed you. And I've talked about what this is about already. It's crossed by the Chariot, which is a card that represents this soulmate cycle for me. It's a Cancerian energy. It's a Cancerian themed cycle, which is why we have so many runners. Cancers are deep, all right? Not as deep as Scorpios, but Cancers are deep and very, very aware. Cancer energy is very aware of how it feels. Usually people don't have to play guessing games with a Cancerian. So it's that kind of energy here. These runners here, most of the runners, for example, know how the DF feels, knows how the other side feels. You know, the one they ran from. Most of the runners are DMs. That's why I phrased it that way. That said, here's the opportunity to charge forward with determination. All those things that came back for review. What are those things? There's a lot of regret here in the incoming energy. A lot of Five of Cups regret for their behavior, for their phoniness, the Queen of Wands. A lot of regret for denying themselves moving towards something that they were very attracted to and lying and saying they weren't. There's a lot of regret. That's one of the cards that ends the separation phase. This is just the surface energy. I mean, it's crazy town. Underneath that, okay, here's where the problem comes in. 8 Swords. I don't think they fixed. I don't even think they acknowledged a lot of what came back for review while Pluto was retrograde. I don't think they did. I certainly, when I pull on societal energies offline, way away from YouTube, believe me, when I pull, I got a friend who does a political YouTube, man, that guy, he get death threats, all kinds of stuff, it's crazy. I pull on it offline, I can tell you society, most of it has not done the review, has not looked at a lot of the things that they got wrong. But either way, whatever, the runners here, incoming energy, yeah, they're up in their head. There's a lot of it. And again, that 8 of Swords is bookending the Fool. What are they in their head about? The things they didn't work on. The 8 of Pentacles. So it's going to be an interesting reading because there's a real dichotomy here in the energy of the pre-shuffle. We open with a lot of forward movement and then we get, well, yeah, but this is this person, right? Yeah, they feel the pain about their behavior, but there's this constant fear of change that they have. Fear of putting in the work. Right? Fear of growth, fear of change, fear of the unknown. It's all there with them. And it's going to, with the combination of the 1010 portal and Pluto going direct in Capricorn, just fueling each other, it's going to fall on their head. But the good news is it's a lead into an eclipse, which is coming up. And the eclipses this month, as I wrote about in my October write-up, offer a second chance. Well, you didn't do it before, here's your shot. Take it now. Right? That kind of thing. We'll see. It applies across the board, so keep that in mind for yourself. It applies in bad habits you might have, or changing ways you live, or the ways you view yourself. It applies all across the board. For this reading, I'm pulling on the incoming energy. This first card out is before the cut. It's why the fuck are we here? So what's the theme? Why the fuck are we here, universe? First card out. Yeah, 10 Pentacles. 10 Pentacles. What is that? It's sort of like I'll put myself in the runner's place, in the incoming energies place right here. What is 10 Pentacles? What does that mean to me? What is my life? What would be really great, right? All right. Came back for review. Have I been living this rainbow? Have I? I don't know. If they didn't look at it, or at least acknowledge that they weren't, we're going to have a problem. But they all have a fear of change. The Empress energy. It's somewhat here, again, the path has been shown. That goes all the way back to the full moon reading I did, which was lighting up the proper path, okay? Part of this energy here, this Empress energy, is theirs. Their own, they're really in their fields right now. But I'm going to read this energy on the B side, a different way, which is, they've already been shown that the DF side of this connection, which primarily who was run from, is the real 10 of Pentacles. Right? But there's a huge, in between, a huge cavern. And that ties to the pre-shuffle of that fear of putting in the work, of change. Okay, so let's see what happens. All right. Give me the soulmate cycle with the influence of Pluto going direct in Capricorn. Pluto going direct is always a great time to fix things, to get things right, to change paths, whatever it is. It's always a great time for that. So, keep that in mind for yourself. I hope they're keeping it in mind. Give me the soulmate cycle with the influence of Pluto direct in Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's go. Give me a reading. That's it. We got our reading. Overall energy of everything that's going to fall on the table is the King of Cups. The King of Cups. There's a reason there's a black swan on this particular. I'm getting a black swan energy here. Okay? It's someone who has, for most of their life, villainized their feelings, denied themselves the things that would truly make them happy in favor of maybe more superficial things, or in the runner's case, in the incoming energies case, I feel it more as playing it safe, in favor of playing it safe. Yeah, and that seems to be a theme here. What's fueling this just for fun? Yeah, the Page of Cups. There's a desire. The desire to come towards you is strong. It's Page of Cups level. But the desire to keep it safe is a king. All right? One's a page and one's a king. The fear of the unknown here, the fear of change, it will bite you in the ass with this combination of the 10-10 portal peaking and Pluto going direct in Capricorn. Do not fear change. There's nothing to fear. I wish these runners could hear that. There's nothing. Take your shots, right? Well, otherwise we get stuck in ruts in life, and it gets boring, and that's when we start doing bad things. That's where the devil energy sneaks in. When you get stuck in a rut, you get bored. Well, I just start drinking. Okay, that's when people start drinking. They start doing bad shit. It just is, because they're bored, Anyway, let's flip the deck here. Here we go. Our reading's on top. Right here's the energy around your connection. Right here's how they're behaving in the 3D. Right here's their soul. This is the hidden energy. Message from the universe. Red with the energy of your connection. Right here's the potential final outcome. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I will clarify everything. Throw some universe cards at the end, and you bet your sweet asses. And I know they are. There's going to be a link for an extended in the description. All right? Let's go. Let's do it. Energy around your connection. Yep, 5 of Wands. I believe it. I believe it. I almost thought it was going to be like 7 swords or something like that, or 5 swords. I'll take 5 wands. That's the weakest energy as it reflects back to me. Right now here, somebody's trying to fight City Hall, and they're not going to be able to do it. What do I mean by that? They're trying to ignore the Empress that came out after the cut. They're not going to be able to do it. Somebody's very much in their head right now about your connection. I think one side is more in their head than the other. One side's just kind of sitting there, and the other side is sort of fighting with themselves a little bit. Okay. Find out where that goes for reasons I've already explained, right? 3D energy around them. How are they behaving in the 3D? There it is. There's the 5 swords. I felt it. I said I thought this was either going to be... Rewind, I did. I said I thought this was either going to be a 7 swords or a 5 swords kind of thing. Here it is. It's right here, and we even have a color match with the backgrounds. They're both this line pattern here. This one's a little more sideways. How are they behaving in the 3D 5 swords? Bunch of false victories. This is a false victory. This is the epitome of it, right? Oh, I really want this. Yeah, but it's safe here. I'm going to keep my mouth shut kind of a thing. I think the net result is somebody will come tell you how they feel, but I still... there's a bit of a false victory attached to it. Somebody here is cheating themselves out of a good life because they're afraid to change. And Pluto going direct is a great time to make, it's such a great opportunity to make those changes and move forward. But you have to have reviewed, at least looked at the paperwork, metaphorically speaking, of what came back for review when it was retrograde. I think they skimmed it, right? They kind of skimmed the paperwork. That's what I think. And that's why this is coming out this way. It's all gray. You picking up a color theme here? Okay. Soul energy. Bookends the Five of Wands. The Emperor. Stubborn. Stubborn energy. Their feminine energy is I'll try to explain it this way. I said, I didn't read it. I said I read the B side. But for the cut cards on the A side, their feminine energy is up. Okay, we have a balance in the 10-10 portal of masculine and feminine. We learned that in that reading, right? Somebody here is trying desperately to just focus on this ego side, this safe side, if you will, okay? That's all. They're trying to, and I don't think they can. I don't think they can distract themselves from the reality of the Empress energy. Technically speaking, the emotional energy of the Empress is stronger, technically, than the ego energy of the Emperor. That's why the Emperor needs the Empress more than the Empress needs the Emperor. The Empress can live on her own, his or her own, just fine in Empress energy. It's very emotional. It's a magical life. It might be a whimsical type person and that kind of thing, but they'd be just fine. This left on its own becomes an asshole, becomes a runner, becomes maniacal, becomes a player, an ego trip. Okay, all right. They're trying desperately to focus on that energy, focus away from the feminine. What's the universe want to tell us? It's technically red with 5 wands, 4 swords. It's a stalemate energy. This is crickets chirping, right? This is a void energy. It's one of the, there's all kinds of ways to read the 4 of swords. I read energy, not cards. So I'm reading the medium. The cards are a medium. I'm reading what's reflecting. What's reflecting here is a void. The universe is basically saying, while they're doing this, they're just treading water. Okay? They're just treading water right now in an energy that's pushing forward. You can't tread water in a strong current. Okay? I grew up near a river. I know a lot about rivers. All right? You can't sit there and tread water when the current is flowing through. You're going to go with it. All right? So good luck here, Mr. Incoming or Mrs. Incoming Energy. Potential final outcome. It's red with 5 swords. It's about what I thought. It's 10 cups. On one side, it's what I said about the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. Okay, you are this. You're their happiness, right? It's someone who, I'll just put it this way, it's someone who probably decides that they should play it safe and keep their mouth shut. But dreaming about you is going to go through the roof. I think what happens eventually, and we'll see it when we clarify probably, right? I think what happens eventually is the dreaming becomes not enough. Right? Because it's self-sabotage for them just to dream. There's a hazy energy off of this. Okay. All right, let's clarify. Let's go. Let's put that down and let's do it. Let's talk to the witches, and there you are. I said, I did not know that was there. That's the Queen of Pentacles. I said one side of this is just kind of sitting there just fine. I did, rewind. And the other side's really in their head. Yeah, that's you. You got everything you need. You're fine. You're comfortable with the balance between your masculine and feminine that the 10-10 portal is bringing. And this Pluto direct energy, a lot of you are going to make some big life changes. Some big changes. Even if, I say big, I don't necessarily have to mean, you move or you buy a skyscraper. I don't know, maybe you are planning to buy a skyscraper. I don't know. But I mean internal changes too. Just the way you look at the world, right? The way you feel when you get up in the morning, right? All right, let's go. Why is the 5 of Wands here? Let's go. Tell me about the 5 of Wands. It's crazy. Basically, they're just trying to, they're in their feels. Empress energy came out after the cut, and they're trying to just bring this up more, trying to ego themselves away, which is why they make a decision probably in the end that dreaming about you will be fine. Well, I can just, what I could have had, all that kind of stuff, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think we see some forward movement when we clarify there. Tell me about the 5 of Wands right now. I want to know about this 5 of Wands. Yeah. 9 wands. They're just treading water here in heavy current. The current is flowing. Pluto, we got the 10-10 portal, powerful. I pulled on it, watch it, balancing, nice, right? And we know from that reading that the energy of your connection was a tower. Now we're finding out why. You know, because somebody here's treading water in a very fast current. Pluto going direct in Capricorn, that current is moving. All right, this wall here is making them tired. The whole thing is just making them tired. I can understand that. What's on top? The world. Yeah. Everything feels, this is probably an energy where everything feels different to them. Whatever the case is, taking it more back to the connection, the world's the most powerful card I can pull. It talks about we're way past judgment here. We're way past that. We're in a new energy. All right? It's somebody here who you can't tread water in the current. They're not going to be able to just ego their way out of this. They're not going to be able to just keep this in dreamland. They're going to need to say how they feel. All right? It's not going to be enough. This is too powerful. Why is the world here? Yeah, Three of Swords. When I said powerful, I meant it, right? They're feeling everything they missed here, everything they lost, which is why this is how ego-based people protect themselves. They beef up the ego. They pump up, you know. Wash it off. There's other fish in the sea, right? They look in the mirror, slick their hair back. Yeah, I'm the shit, right? Like that. They're feeling this. That's why they're trying to ego up, hulk up the ego. Right? Okay. Trying to just focus on this energy here. The net result here is a stubbornness, but they're feeling the pain. A lot of it. And again, it's making them tired trying to tread water in a fast-flowing current. Good luck with that. All right? You ain't a dolphin. All right? Maybe a dolphin could do it, but not you. All right, what's going on here? Five of Swords. Self-sabotaging, false victory, complete bullshit energy. What is this? In the light seer, it's my coffee house guy, the reason I make coffee at home. All right, this person here, what's going on? Five of Swords in the 3D energies. What's going on here? Yeah, 8 Cups. It takes a lot of bravery to walk away from 8 broken cups. It does not take a lot of bravery to fail, to self-sabotage. It doesn't. It takes a lot of bravery to walk up to a girl or a guy and ask them out, right? It takes a lot of bravery to do that. It doesn't take a lot of bravery just to walk up and tank the thing. Hey, you're kind of ugly, right? And then it's there, you get slapped, baby, and that's it. Yeah, that was easy. It didn't take a lot of bravery to do that. It takes a lot of bravery to walk away from 8 broken cups, and someone here is afraid of change. They're afraid of actually they might be happy. We get that a lot. We get it a lot in the extendeds too from time to time. What's on top? 5 Swords on top of 5 Swords. See? They're sabotaging everything. They're sabotaging their own happiness. Because it's easier just to leave it in dreams. It's why people stay in bad relationships. Most people stay in bad relationships because it's easier. It's easier than leaving, you know, whatever. You know, they false victory themselves through it. Retail therapy. They get themselves a car. Yeah, it makes them happy for a little bit. And then that gets old. Then they got to do something else, right? This is just someone here who's afraid of change. And they sabotaging themselves by not telling the other side how they feel. And how do they feel? There's a lot of love here. You might be like, Steve, I don't see a lot of love on the table. I do. 3 Swords. That's an indicator, right? As much as I pull the Queen of Cups, I say it's the most love I can pull from the deck. It's actually not true. Technically, in the reverse of that, in the equal and opposite reaction, this is also the most love I can pull from the deck in my readings. It's right there. And they're feeling all of it, which is why they're trying to hulk up their ego. Why is 5 Swords on top of 5 Swords? 7 Pentacles. Because somebody's sitting on their hands. Somebody knows it's the right time to do something. Somebody knows that if they kept walking, they could get to 9 Cups. Somebody knows you make them happy, right? If they'd only start walking, we could go to 9 Cups and then 10 Cups. This is red with these, right? But somebody, this is my sitting on the hands energy, and the energy is right for them to do something. They're just afraid. There's afraid here, and I think a lot came back for them to review while Pluto was retrograde, and I knew this would happen. I knew it. I wrote about it in the blog. I talked about it on readings. I knew this would fucking happen, and they'd sit there and wouldn't acknowledge it and wouldn't look at it because it's easy. It's easy to fail. It's easy to not put in the work. All right? You go to work every day and don't do anything. That's easy, right? Maybe if you work on an assembly line, I wouldn't do that. But it's certainly easier than working the line, right? Just stand there. All the shit's going by you on the conveyor belt. You probably get fired, but it's certainly easier than assembling what you need to do and rushing and hurrying up. All right. Tell me about the Emperor here. Most people, and I mean that. I pull on societal energies offline. Most people in this goddamn world take the easy way out. And the easy way is failing. But it's not, though. They end up, it's always a self-sabotaging energy because it comes back to bite you. On my assembly line analogy, that person gets fired, right? Yeah, it was easy to go in and do nothing, but eventually they're going to catch on that you're not doing anything. Maybe pretty quickly if you're in the center of the assembly line. Why is the Emperor here? Afraid of change. Come on. You can't be afraid of change with 1010 portal energy on top of Pluto direct in Capricorn. Good luck with that. You change or die kind of energy. It really is. And I don't mean die literally. You know what I mean. Why is the Emperor here? All right, let's go. Well, for some people, it is die. For some people, this energy is they need to quit drinking now. They need to quit smoking now. They're ignoring the signs. Those kinds of things. Yeah. For some people, it is actually maybe literally. All right, maybe it's one person watching. Get off of your ass. All right, this is the time to make some change. So if that helps someone, good. You know, you can't ignore the signs for sure. It's a brown feather energy. Brown feather energy, you see a brown feather. One of the main themes of that energy right now in the current surrounding energies is not to ignore the signs. All right, it's like the universe's way of saying if a brown feather finds you. And those are very rare to find, you know. Pretty easy to find a white feather or a gray feather or things like that. Brown, not so much because they hide, you know, kind of a thing. But if you find one of those, if one of those finds you, I should say, it's the universe been trying to send you signs and you've been ignoring them. All right, here's the magician. Yeah, they're trying to pull a trick, a smoke and mirrors trick and bring up the ego. I'm right about that. What's on top? The star. The star implies a tower. Okay, something's happened here. All right, this is somebody here. Again, I have a divine timing and I have a divine timing. All right, this is somebody doing nothing when they know exactly what they want to do. All right, why is the star here? Four Swords. What did I just say? I pull this card to verify my read on this, and I said this is somebody doing nothing when they know exactly what they want to do, because this flows from here to here, and this is my guy who's just taking a break. This is my guy who's failing on the assembly line by just, well, it's easier if I don't do anything. Well, of course it is, motherfucker. It's always easier not to do anything, right? Here it is, void energy. It's the same here as this Four of Swords. It's the same energy, right? Yeah. Why is the star here? Because they're doing nothing, yet they know exactly what they want to do. In fact, it's in the air. They should be sharing how they feel. And they know it because I have this, where'd he go? Sorry. I have this page here, this Page of Cups. I have it right here, fueling this, and we talked about this. They know exactly what they want to do. It's easier just to stay safe in my comfort zone. Yeah, is it? Okay. Let's clarify. What now? Let's talk about, hey, carry it over. Let's talk about the Four of Swords. Let's go. Tell me about this void energy here. All right. Man, I don't know. I don't know how they considered this. This is the main card that ends the separation phase of the soulmate cycle, but somebody here, it is self-sabotage on crack. This is the epitome of self-sabotage. This is 5 swords. Why is it here? 5 swords. 5 plus 5 is 10. That's 10 swords. It's the epitome of self-sabotage. I've explained the energy as perfectly as I can. All right? Yeah. They're just afraid to change. It's because, and they wouldn't be had they reviewed the stuff that came back for review while Pluto was retrograde properly. They would be primed for this energy. They are going to get a second chance at the eclipses to do something. But I think we're going to have a lot of back and forth between now and then with it. I get that off the 5 swords. Tell me about this 4 swords, or 5 wands, and 5 swords. Tell me about the 4 of swords here. I'm pulling in the void right now. I'm diving down into black water here. What do we get? Well, okay, I get it. The universe has a sense of humor today. It's crossed by the 6 of Pentacles. The environmental energy is encouraging them to give to this. That's a simple way to put it. But why? Well, duh. The environmental energy around your connection here, it's encouraging them to give to this. Yeah, no shit. I'll tell you what. And instead, they're playing a game of smoke and mirrors. All right, over here, know exactly what they want to do, but they're not doing it. They're just sitting here. What's on top? 3 of Wands. Again, just sitting there right on the edge. They're watching. He knows exactly what they want to do. You're on that ship. Topless and bottomless. It's full nude. You're there. They're watching. Right there on the edge. The energy is making them antsy. The world energy here is very powerful. It's a very powerful energy. It's one of those energies where you wake up in the morning and everything feels different, right? You wake up with a whole new attitude, even kind of a thing. You feel different about yourself. Everything around you looks different, right? These are the kinds of energy where people quit their job, or they just decide, I want to move, I hate it here. That kind of thing. Or they end relationships as well. They can, either with themselves or with somebody else. There's an antsiness in between here. He's eager. This person here, it's a he. It could be a he or a she. Is eager to dive in the water and get out to that ship. I would too. It's full nude. I like that. Why is the Three of Wands here? No guessing games when it's full nude, right? 9 swords. 9 swords right there. Yeah, it's keeping them up at night. There's an antsiness. This backs up my read on this. One of them, energies and layers. Yeah, 9 swords. Ooh. A lot of anxiety. Anxiety is antsiness, right? And what's keeping them up at night primarily? That. The amount of love that's here, the pain, they're being forced to feel it. And what are they trying to do? When soon as they feel it, because they're up in their Empress energy, which came out after the cut, is they hulk up their ego, right? Hulk up their ego and try and block it out. I don't think they can. It's not working. This 9's of the end in tarot. And I think they're going to try here, self-sabotage, 10 swords, 5 plus 5 on crack. They're going to try and just keep this in dreamland. Well, maybe I can just fantasize about it and keep my life the same. I got a news flash for this motherfucker. You can't with the world here. You can't keep things the same. Things will never be the same again. Right? All right. 10 cups. Let's do it. Final outcome. We take 10 swords, 5 plus 5, and we want to go to 10 cups. We want to try. All right, let's go. What's the final here? I think we see some forward movement, but I think there's a gap, a delayed gap in it. Why is the 10 cups here? 5 cups, yeah. I feel the regret. I feel that. Why is the 10 cups here? What's the final on this? Let's go. Okay, that's it. That's it. You won't let me shuffle no more. I haven't looked yet. I'm afraid to look. The environmental energy here is very important on the final outcome. I don't know if I ever said that to you guys. It is. And the card that falls here is the second most important. This card here, not always. It just verifies sort of the read on the whole thing. All right. 8 wands. See, I told you, forward movement. Come on. Why am I your second favorite? Come on, I already called it. Rewind. I did. It's fucking great. 8 wands. Yeah, it's minor arcana. It's up to their free will, let's be honest. But it is forward movement. I said I see some forward movement here. Dreaming's not going to be enough. The self-sabotage on all sides leads to 10 swords. Doing nothing leads to getting fired. Right? They're fired from their own existence. They're not going to be able to hulk up the ego here and forget about this. Everything feels different. Things will never be the same again because of this 3 swords, and it's keeping them up at night. 8 wands, forward movement, communication. All right. That's the environmental energy. That's important. It's the most important card of the next 2 I'm going to pull. So what's on top? 10 cups on top of 10 cups. Look at that. Come on. I'm not looking. Come on. That's fucking great. Yeah. See, the whole keeping you in the dreamland thing, this is read with 5 swords. It's the same thing. 5 swords, 10 cups. 5 swords, 10 cups. The net result is it's not enough. They need to do something, and the environmental energy is they know that. And that says the same thing that this and this say that I've been talking about. This is symmetry in a reading. I try to be transparent with you guys and don't just read the energy and the crisscross and say, you deal with it. I'll just tell you whatever. I try to show it to you. It has more impact that way. The way I feel it, the way the energy is crisscrossing here. What's read with the 10 cups? What did I say? Re-fucking-wind. What did I say? It's not going to be enough. I don't know what's here. It's a Knight of Swords. It's not going to be enough. Just keeping you in dreamland. Somebody here needs to talk to you in real life, IRL, in 3D. It's not the same, right? You can't love somebody this much, right? And I didn't get a Queen of Cups here. I didn't. Most love I can pull from the deck. This is the most pain about that love I can pull from the deck. And it's all they feel. It's all they feel. I mean, it's full nude out there where you are. That's not just a boat. Go swim out to the boat. I mean, come on. It's keeping them up at night. It's anxiety. There's an antsiness here. They got something. This is fast moving. Somebody will eventually come off their ass Get called into the office at the factory where they say, get your ass in gear and start assembling the shit you're supposed to be doing. Do what you're supposed to be doing is what the universe is trying to say. It will eventually, and somebody here will come in, and what they have to say will change everything. What will it change? Well, it'll change you from dreamland into 3D reality, into real Ten of Cups. All right? It's the only way to get happy. It's the way it is. You can't. It's one thing to fantasize about some celebrity or somebody you're never going to meet, right? Never going to happen. They don't even know who I am, blah, 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 blah. It's another thing to sit around and be miserable in your life and dream and self-sabotage and dream about somebody you could be banging, right? He could be on that ship. It's not like the ship isn't there. In fact, it's still close enough to shore. All you got to do is, even if you don't want to dive, just climb down and get in the water. You can make that. It's anchored. There's a chance. All right? And they're going to take it, I think. I said forward movement, and I meant it. And there's that Eight of Wands, and remember, crossing that. That's great. That's great. Again, this is just a message of change. That's the way it's coming out. Now, I'm going to shuffle. See, I don't have a devil on the table here. I don't. I've just got an idiot on the table here. I got a moron who's not, I mean, if this were a friend of mine and they were over, and this has happened to me, all right, I would say, call the fucking DF, motherfucker. What are you doing? You just sabotage and just sit there. I mean, come on. Oh, Jesus. All right. It is just what it is. Trying to, I don't know, trying to fight City Hall, trying to reason with a hurricane. It's a hurricane of love here. It's a no-brainer decision, too, which is weird. This normally, these two cards, this is saying, with the Nine Swords, Nines of the End in Tarot, red with the Three of Swords, this is saying that this Three of Swords will bring them to you. That's how I knew as well there's going to be forward movement here in the final outcome. I mean, it's a no-brainer, for God's sake. All right. And Pluto Direct does have a way of lighting a fire under people's asses. All right. Problem is, these runners, they try to protect themselves with that ego. It's just the way it is. All right, let's go. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. What else you want to tell everyone before I go pull some wicked voodoo? I'm going to pull on that 3 swords, on that world. I'm going to pull on this guy. In fact, I'm going to come right up behind this guy and have a chat with him. All right? And you say, why are you standing here? Why? All right? And I'm going to be naked and wet from the boat when I do it. All right? So I'm like, yay, man, you got to come out. Come on, let's go. Grab him and throw him in the water. I want to find out why. It's going to, as I pull on all this energy, I'm going to find out what the jam up is. Why are they so damn afraid to change? You know? And I'll pull on you. I'll open with you. I want to see what Pluto Direct and Capricorn does for you guys, the non-runner, if you will. And I'll pull a pyramid and a timeline like I always do. But it looks like we got an incoming here. But I give you the real deal. I give you some reality. Yeah, they regret it. They turning around and coming back, maybe on the surface. But that's not really what's happening. They're afraid of change. And there's a lot of delay here. That's why this guy's moving so fast. That's why I got fast Eight of Wands and fast Knight of Swords. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card, universe. Let's go. Let's go. And it's our pre-shuffle. All that shuffling in our pre-shuffle came back. And it backs up what I just got done saying. There's the regret. Somebody here, the Queen of Wands, they're too attracted to, I'll just paraphrase this. They're too attracted to this connection. There's too much pain here. Okay? This is an attraction energy of the Queen of Wands. When it's crossing the Chariot like this, somebody's determined to make some changes. But this, the disappointment, the regret, the shame needs to come up a little bit before that happens. I was just talking before I pulled these about the delay in things. And this is the universe's way of backing me up. It's like, yeah, there is a delay. They're definitely going to charge forward because it's too attractive to ignore. This Three of Swords is too much to ignore. But the leap of faith doesn't happen until they can't dream about it anymore. What I talked about with the 10 cups on top of 10 cups and 5 swords on top of 5 swords. You know, you probably it's gone unnoticed by some of you, right? But these cards are read together in my reading. I point that out, right? What are the odds? And I can tell you, I might run and get a lottery ticket today. Okay, that's how astronomical the odds are that I get here 5 swords and here 5 swords. And then cards that are read with this, here I get 10 cups and here I get 10 cups. I mean, this is a winning poker hand. I mean, if this were a card game, that's pretty wild. So there's a lot of crazy shit that's happened here in this reading to back itself up all the way around. And the fact that the pre-shuffle came back after all that shuffling is crazy. But we need this energy to come up. And it's more of a shame aspect of it, not a regret aspect. All right? Oh, man. Man, also the 10 swords here, 5 swords plus 5 swords. 10 swords, one of the meanings of that, the way the energy often reflects and the way it would here, is guilt about something too. Guilt and shame. That needs to come up, and then they take the leap of faith. Let's find out what's going on here with 3 swords on their side. Let's find out what's so great about staying where they are, why there's no bravery. All right, and I'll pull on you as well. If you want the extended, the link is in the description. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who shares, and everybody who watches. All right, good luck.